As I promised you in the previous video, we will look at a beautiful phenomenon that we call the solar halo. You can see two crosses in the photo. The outer cross is horizontal and appears especially outside the light ring. The second cross is seen inside the ring and is rotated by 45 degrees. The sun in the center is diamond-shaped. I hope you all noticed. This is an interesting solar phenomenon with rays that form a cross. The white dots that move in the video are energy particles. Let's go through it step by step. I will show you with an arrow the more interesting ones that move there. And here we have a close-up of one orb that was moving in the upper right. It is colorful and seems to get these colors from the sun. They are actually also the colors of the rainbow or the human energy field of the human aura. Let's take a look at the next pictures. We have already seen this photo in the first part of the presentation. They are energy orbs. They are colored and have darker targets in their center. These orbs also glow, probably because they have been illuminated. You can see the concentric circles, but they are not very colorful and also do not seem to have a flower shape in the center. This orb is now more colorful and has a circle around it. A flower can be seen in the middle. Apparently there are orbs from Earth and orbs from the Sun. Orbs from Earth combine with energetic particles from the Sun. These have the shape of a flower, as you can see in the picture. We could say that these two energies, male and female, merge into one particle. However, the female attribute still prevails here, and this has its reason for the next path to the creation of a human being. This journey continues in the mother's womb in the form of a lotus flower. That will be the subject of another sequel, but for now let's look at the Vitruvian man. What exactly is Vitruvian man? This is the name of the drawing by Leonardo da Vinci. However, there were many more similar drawings and they are similar. In some drawings, the man takes a different position. I believe that this drawing expresses a real phenomenon that we have the opportunity to see in the sky without thinking about what it really is. Let's look at another drawing that comes from the 15th century. Here the man is more centered in both the circle and the square. But the man in Leonardo's drawing is centered in the circle, but the center of the square lies outside the center of the circle. We see a man who has two characters. One touches the square and the circle with her feet, her hands are spread out horizontally. The second figure has legs apart and stands only on the circle, while the arms are slightly raised, touching both the circle and the square. I thought it might be an optical illusion, but the intention in the picture is there and it refers to the so-called squaring of the circle. Let's see what Wikipedia says about this drawing. The Vitruvian man is a perfect representation of the symmetry of the human body. Some see the golden section in the painting, which Leonardo da Vinci often used. Another opinion is that Leonardo expressed himself in this way about the problem of squaring the circle. And that's actually the right opinion. As you know, the problem of squaring the circle has often become an alchemical puzzle. And we will look at this puzzle on this very iconic drawing. First, we look at an illustration by Cesare Cesarian from 1521, where a man is centered in both a square and a circle. Its center is at the navel, which would make sense given the symmetry of the human body. But it is a symbol for something else. Here again we have the solar halo that we saw at the beginning of the video. It is the solar circle in which the geometry is hidden. I'm sure many of you will laugh at me, but I don't mind and will continue anyway. For it is clear to me that we are all addicted to the solar system and the planets orbiting the hot giant, and these planets are still spinning like a merry-go-round. But the reality is really different, and the truth lies not in NASA but in ancient texts and artifacts. I have already mentioned here that our sun is a shining spiritual being that moves in our atmosphere, even when it seems to be in some kind of outer space. And that this fact is hidden from us. The human soul is formless. It can manifest itself in different situations in different forms, but most often as light. So let's look at the geometry of the sun, which is directly exemplary here. And here is the solar geometry. The solar halo is highlighted in yellow with a square in the middle. The square is given by the diagonal rays that emanate from the center. Note that the sun in this case resembles a diamond or a rhombus. If we look more closely, we also notice a cross. The cross is formed by a vertical and horizontal rays. A glow appears where the rays touch the solar halo. You can't see it here on the vertical beam, because unfortunately the photo doesn't capture the whole situation. To summarize, we see a diamond on a cross, an inner square formed by diagonal rays, and all this is part of the geometry of the solar halo. As you can see, the rays here do not go exactly to the corners. It may be a refraction of light. This is more accurate. Circle. In the circle there is a square formed by diagonal rays and in the middle a diamond shape in the center of the cross. If we incorporate the Vitruvian man as drawn by Leonardo da Vinci into this geometry, we see that the lower arms and lower legs copy the cross in a circle. On the other hand, the upper arms are not touching anything and the outstretched legs are in the space outside the circle. The center of the circle lies in the area below the neck on the chest. This position is correct. The upper arms and outer legs almost follow the diagonal rays. The lower arms no longer rest on the cross and the legs touch the circle. The inner square is slightly smaller than the one painted by Leonardo, but unfortunately we do not know how far the diagonal rays extend. Let's look at the center of the circle. In the place where the diamond is located, the man has a navel. If you look closely, you will see 3 diamonds on the belly. The Bible speaks of the human being as having 4 spiritual forms: man, bull, lion and eagle. We are looking at the human form here. I believe that this is the true squaring of the circle, the puzzle that Leonardo left us. We will try to attach a drawing by Cesare Cesariano, which is correct in principle. You can see that this man has a navel in the center of the cross and the limbs follow the diagonal rays. The center is a diamond, i.e. the sun. When we enlarge the drawing, the geometry is still identical to the figure of a man. At this point, I advise anyone who still believes in the solar system not to watch the video any further. As you know, the sun has been worshipped since ancient times as the source of life. We have already shown that the energetic particles from the sun combine with the particles that erupt from the Earth's flowers. The Earth is the true mother and like the sun is also a spiritual being. I don't know the exact period when the artificial solar system was created, but the sun as the center of our galaxy certainly does not appear on old artifacts. The solar system theory has been heavily supported by NASA and other institutions, but it is all just an illusion. There are beings living among us who do not have a human essence, do not have the ability to empathize and love other beings, but only look like people. But there are also angelic beings living among us who have a completely different life, but we don't know them. He walks among us in our everyday ordinary life. We will show the fact that we live in a digital world in the next video. Before I end this presentation, let's look at one fresco. The Ark of the Covenant is captured on it. Does she seem strange to you? People argue all the time about the shape of our Earth. It is paradoxical that its shape is in front of our eyes every day. It has the form of a church bell, an Indian lingam. Some ancient temples have its shape. They resemble the biblical mountain. According to the ancient texts, the sun rises and sets through many gates on the earth that it passes through. Is our Earth the real ark? In this painting you see knights carrying an ark in the form of a biblical mountain with many holes around its perimeter. The ark we know is found in every Christian church in the form of a mercy seat and two cherubs hovering on either side of the altar. The power of this ark lies in the power of God's word, i.e., preaching at services. This power should touch every heart. This is the real covenant of our world with God. And here I bid you farewell. I hope you liked the presentation and we will continue our search for the truth in the next video. Thank you.